everybody, welcome back to today's video. So in today's video I want to talk about the difference between a straightable drift car and a full-blown race car, or like full-blown drift car. So behind me I have got two vehicles that both belong to my good friend Ben, and those two cars are the two kinds I'm discussing today. So on this side I've got a 350Z drift car, and on this side here I have got the S14. And just giving a little bit of background, so these two cars are very different. So this car obviously looks like a straight car, as pretty much is. You know, it's running a factory VQ35 V6 engine, and it's got probably 280 horsepower from factory. Apart from that, you know, it's just intake, exhaust, and that's all it has. But in terms of the handling, it's got a coilover suspensions, it's got hydraulic handbrake, it's got a steering wheel, a diff. I think it's got a lock diff, and apart from that, everything is pretty much standard-ish, and just probably the driver safeties and having a cage and harnesses and bucket seat. On this side, the S14 has a lot more modifications. So first, let's start with this chassis. So the chassis is a S14 Silvia Nissan, and is running the wide bodies and the front conversion kit from Rocker Bunny. So it's called the Rocker Bunny Boss V2. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, now this makes the car looks like a old school Camaro, the 1968 Camaro, something like that. But anyway, but under the hood, that's what matters the most, right? So this car was a Nissan S14 chassis, but it's not much left to it. So the whole front, whole back has been cut off. That's very common in the race cars these days in the drifting world. Now this car is running a LS V8. So this is running a LS1 5.7 liter V8. Engine is completely stock, and is running tube frame, tube rear, and we're going to go around the car and have a look at that. But in general, so this car is the track spec drift car, which is sort of like close to a race car, which is never going to be road legal. But on this side, you got a 350Z. So I always get a lot of questions, you know, about like what car should I get for learning drifting? What's the best drift cars to get into drifting? So to answer your question, you know, I will have to dig a little bit deeper. You know, what do you want to achieve? But in general, with the Drift Academy, we have taught many people in New Zealand and around the world, and we have gone through a lot of drift cars. You know, we provide those three unique 180s with SR, RB, and V8. But actually, we also provide 350Z drift car. And what do we find with 350Z? You know, it's an NA car running good power, good torque. There's no turbo lag. Torque is instant. So actually helps people to pick up the drifting skills quite good. So that's what I've been suggesting people to come into sport. If you pick up a 350Z, it's gonna teach you from entry level, sort of like first gear, right to second gear, and you can do everything in second gear, and even you might be able to release some, you know, power in that third gear. But once you have reached there, then you can think about, okay, what do I need to go next? Where Ben is going to a S14 chassis with a V8, because with the 350Z it sort of limits on the power, and you really have to, you know, bring, you know, a supercharger or turbocharger into the car and be able to make a lot of power. But at the same time, if you do that, you will reduce the reliability of the car. You know, if it's a factory car built by Nissan, you know, it's supposed to work. You know, it just, every time you start a car, go out for a little bit drifting, it will work. But once you chuck a supercharger on there, once you chuck turbocharger on there, you are putting stress through the engines, which will reduce the engine life, and who knows, could be the other parts in the drivetrain which cannot handle the power or the torque. But the 350Z can be capable of teach you from absolutely beginning drifting right to sort of intermediate, maybe advanced sort of pedaling, and I actually very like the 350Z. But on the other hand, if you don't want to spend more money on to your 350Z, you know, to going forward, sell the car, get S14 with a V8, something like this, more impressive in drifting. I would say it's a good choice, and you could choose the two. But yeah, let's have a look around the S14 and let's see which one is the best drift cars. So inside the car, it has a full roll cage. This car was in a competition before in D1 New Zealand, and we have rebuilt and refreshed full bin. and this running 2 bucket seats, harnesses, roll cage, and just steering wheel, AST hydraulic handbrake, running into T56 gearbox, and it's just aluminum dashboard with this carbon covering, and running one of the Dash 2 dashes. It's very good just to display rev, water temp, stuff like that. So I can turn this on. Yeah, so we got water temp. We just come off the track sitting at 99. That's the rev, and oil temperature, oil pressure when it starts up, and just make sure, you know, the car runs safe. Really, like when you are drifting out there, it's very nice, purpose built. Battery at the back over there, and I've got one small fire extinguisher right there as well. So I guess the idea of having a sort of competition level drifting is to have the car set up very simple, and you just don't need to go through all the factory stuff, wiring, stuff like that at the track. Just, you know, that's gonna shorten your fixing time at the track, and just get on the track more, get more track time, and have a bit more fun. Apart from that, this car also features a tube frame front and back, so which makes the whole car a little bit lighter, and also make it looking good, and also make the car a lot stronger, and just purposely built to mount the whole wide body and everything in there. So I'll open up the bonnet now and show you guys the LS1 under the hood. Right, here's under the hood. Look at how amazing it is. So simple. So running the V8 LS1, pretty much all stock, and it got a front intake, and the side is just really a tube frame. So all this metal down here has been chopped off. You can see the wheel running Paschal Max knuckles and lower arms, so that's all pretty standard these days. And yeah, there's really nothing to it, you know, rather than a basic drift car with a V8. So running pedal box, so we got all the brake reservoirs over there, running a top pad that relocates the top slightly out. So yeah, it's really basic but very effective, and you know, it's definitely a good match. So I'm gonna close this bonnet. Love these quick latches, they're so easy. Now look at the car and the front of the car. You know, this car, it looks like American, like old school 68 Camaro sort of feeling, and now with a V8 it actually does sound one, right? With the whole car at the back. I'll show you guys the back as well, but look at this firewall cage, pretty simple. And the back bumper running wide bodies at the back too, and under that boot and inside the bumper, all that is really just empty, you know, like as you can see here, it's got a fuel cell. All rear is all Paschal Max. Pretty straightforward setup. So what do you think this S14 with the LS1 V8 compared to your 350Z?
Too powerful, bro. Too powerful. For the bigger angle, easy to control, just a bit of a gas, that's it.
Easy to drive.
Easy to drive.
Yeah.
That's why compared with the ZAC 350,
yeah,
you need a skill on it.
Exactly. And also, like, you know, after coming through Drift Academy, you drove the RBs, the SRs, and the V8, and your first drift car is the 350Z, and the 350Z is NA motor. I was saying, is it easy to drive being NA? You prefer the NA to the turbo?
Yes, yes, definitely. I prefer the NA is better than the turbo. What is the turbo? You got a lag on it, and the NA is like, still look at it, still here, man.
Instant, eh?
Yes, man.
So this is the 350Z, instant. And the good thing with the 350Z is it doesn't use much tires, doesn't use much fuel, and this is a street spec almost sort of drift car. And this one here is like a full race car style. Yeah, it looks good. You should stand here and go both car. Like, well, expert, pro. So yeah, like if you're on a learner car, I would say Ben suggests the 350Z, and then after you done a bit of learning, jump into the pro car.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but in terms of the V8, it's very reliable. It may just get a little bit hot when you're drifting. Did you check the water temperature?
Always, always.
Was it too hot or not too bad?
After 3 laps, then the temperature will go into 100.
Yeah.
And then, as what you say,
do a cool down lap.
You need a cool down lap. Yes.
Yeah. And other than that, is very reliable. Just change tires, put fuel in.
Yes.
Yeah. Very basic. Nice. Which car do you like the most now? Hard to say.
Actually, I still prefer my 350.
Oh, your 350 is still your baby, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, your Rocker Bunny is coming for the 350Z, and
but it's still the same. You need to find a good coach to teach you how's the basic skill to start drifting. You look at my ZAC 350; it's still in one piece. So that's why I got a good master.
Yes.
You know, come and join Drift Academy. You know, the car will still in one piece. All right.
Yeah. So you really enjoy the drift with me here, and especially Drift Academy Japan is very good, good learning and good atmosphere, having fun with the people together.
Yeah, bro. It's
yeah,
like a family, man.
Exactly. So, yeah, looking forward. You know, like now you're getting so much better drifting like a basic car and a race car, but you know, bring you back to Japan next trip, you're gonna be amazing. You know, link up all the courses in Ibisu.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you can show the friends coming back to Drift Academy too.
Yes.
At the same time.
Of course.
So now come back to the question, is a straight spec drift car better or full race car drift better? So I would say, you know, depends your skill set. Yeah, or you know, what do you want to achieve? You just want to have some fun, have something reliable? Yeah, go for the 350Z here. It's a very nice car, and you could have definitely roll legal. You know, all you need to have maybe a two-way LSD, which is very civil driving on the straight, and have a set of good coilovers. And apart from that, you don't need much. You know, if you want a hydraulic handbrake, that's probably what it needs to be. But if you want to go for more angles, more impressive drifting, more fast, more noise, and V8 is definitely the goal. You know, one of my favorite engines is V8. We've been building so many V8 engines, and I would say these days I like more and more of the straight spec cars, but I still enjoy driving these V8 cars. And none of these like V8 cars is full blown to Formula Drift spec or anything like that. You know, just a basic straight, not straight, but like basic like race car LS1 V8 sort of spec drift cars compared to just a factory 350Z. So still not over the top, and you'll be able to enjoy so much fun as well at the same time. But anyway, like if you guys haven't subscribed channel, make sure you subscribe channel by clicking the link down below or click the subscribe button, and make sure you also press the bell so you get notifications and see our videos. But we're uploading daily, so pretty much we're gonna see you tomorrow. So anyway, today's video is about, you know, compare the straightable 350Z and S14 with a V8, and to be honest, they're both perfect drift cars, and that's why Ben still having both cars. He can come out like day like this and to drift the 350Z a little bit and drift the S14 with a V8 a little bit, and actually, you know, getting some excitement from both the car offers. And you tell me, what do you prefer in the comment sections, and what's your favorite build, what's your favorite engine? And that's gonna be end of today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.